You know that feeling when a single comment, just one little remark, completely throws off your entire day? Well, today we're going to dive into how to transform that sting of criticism, and not by just ignoring it, but by actually using it to get stronger, all without losing sight of who you really are.
It's so true, isn't it? It doesn't take a full-blown storm. Sometimes it's just a little joke that they call feedback, or a thoughtless comment, and boom. Suddenly you're stuck, just replaying their voice over and over in your head for hours. That's the exact feeling we're going to unpack.
Okay, so first things first. Why? Why do these words have so much power over us? Where does that deep, cutting feeling really come from?
All right, get ready for a major shift in how you see this. The sting of criticism, it isn't really about what the other person said. It's about what their words woke up inside of you. See, they're just words, but they land right on our deepest insecurities, and they challenge the very image we have of ourselves. That right there, that's the real source of the pain.
And this explains so much, right? It's why two people can hear the exact same comment and have completely different reactions. For one person, it's like a leaf landing on the surface of the water. No big deal. But for another, it's like a heavy stone hitting a part of them that hasn't quite healed yet, and it sends ripples through everything.
Now here's a real turning point in how we can think about all of this. What if the criticism you're getting isn't even about you? Because a lot of the time, the words we hear are just a reflection of the person saying them. There's this super important psychological concept for this. It's called projection. Basically, it's when someone feels something, insecure, maybe jealous, not good enough, but they can't face it themselves, so they put it on you. They disguise their own internal mess as your flaw. Their words end up saying way more about their own battles than they do about you.
So, how can you actually spot this happening? Think about it. Have you ever been accused of being arrogant right after you had a big success? Or been called selfish just for setting a perfectly normal boundary? These kinds of reactions, the ones that feel totally over the top for the situation, that's often a dead giveaway that you're dealing with projection.
And really, this gets to the absolute heart of it. Most of what we get isn't helpful feedback. It's just lazy judgment. It's quick, it's full of assumptions, and honestly, it just weakens you. Being truly seen by someone, well, that's a whole different thing. It's rare. It takes real effort and a desire to understand. And that builds you up, even when it's tough to hear.
Okay, so we get the why now. Let's get practical. How do we actually manage that initial wave of emotion when criticism hits you like a ton of bricks?
Look, that first reaction, it's almost never logical, right? It's a gut punch. But you can actually rewire it with 3 simple but super powerful steps. First, just notice what's happening. The tight chest, the racing thoughts, just observe it. Second, and this is the game changer, create a little space with a pause. And third, you consciously reframe their words. It's not a verdict on your worth, it's just information, data that you can sort through later.
In that pause we just talked about, your most powerful tool is a single, deep breath. And this is not just some feel-good trick. It's a direct signal to your nervous system. It literally tells your body, you are safe, you are in control. It short-circuits the anxiety and gives your rational mind a chance to catch up.
So, those in-the-moment tactics are great, for sure. But what about long-term? How do we build real resilience? Well, it's all about creating an inner armor, a sense of self so stable that no single opinion can ever knock it down. This difference right here is absolutely critical. Criticism becomes toxic when it triggers shame, that deep feeling that you are the problem. That's a direct hit on your identity. But healthy guilt? That just says, I did something wrong. It focuses on a behavior, something you can actually change, and that's what leads to real growth.
The whole key is to build this foundation from the inside out. When you really know your core values, when you can separate one mistake from who you are as a person, and when you practice real self-respect, you build an internal anchor. Criticism might still show up, but it just doesn't have the power to drag you out to sea anymore.
So, after all this work, where does it all lead? What does it actually look and feel like to go from feeling wounded to feeling wise?
Let's be really clear about this. The goal isn't to become some kind of robot who feels nothing. It's to become a wise filter. It's about developing the emotional clarity to know what's useful guidance and what's just poison, to know what to keep and what to let go of without letting it do any damage. And this is the new reality you can actually create for yourself. You become someone who can listen, truly listen to feedback, even when it's harsh, without collapsing inside. You learn how to grow from it without losing the very core of who you are.
At the end of the day, you are the gatekeeper of your own mind. Opinions are always going to be out there. Loud ones, quiet ones, cruel ones, and kind ones. But you get the final say. You get to choose which voices have actually earned the right to shape you. So, who's it going to be?